Hello, nerds. We need to have a talk again. Specifically, if you've seen the title, you already know. That's right, we're talking about ports again. We've talked about ports on this channel before, but it's only gotten stupid. Now, in order to keep this one-sided conversation simple and understandable, we are talking mostly about ports, but we are going to be talking about remakes. If you don't understand the difference, Disgaea PC is a port. Disgaea PC basically took the PSP version of Disgaea and plopped it down on the PC. Disgaea Complete built the game from the ground up, gave it graphical upgrades, and added all sorts of other neat little things to it. Get it? Got it? Good. The price of ports have been getting stupid? Yes, let's say stupid, because I don't want YouTube yelling at me. The price of ports have been getting stupid. And I think it's pretty obvious one of the biggest offenders here, of course, is Nintendo. Their most recent offender being the 2 Super Mario Galaxy games. I mean, $40, man? Really? You think it's worth $40? And you know, the price is an especially big sticking point for me. Now, I'm going to say this real quick. If you've never played Super Mario Galaxy or Super Mario Galaxy 2, then I can see paying for it being worth your time. Not $40, personally. That's kind of stupid. But I can see paying for it being worth your time. If you have played it before, well, $40 is still a stupid price to ask. The price is also a big sticking point for me because half a decade ago they released Super Mario Galaxy on the Switch. Specifically part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which cost $60 admittingly, but that had 3 different games on it. So if we're going to go by basic logic and say that each game, for the sake of the conversation, are all equal, then that would mean Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario All-Stars all sold for $20. Of course, Daddy Nintendo decided we're not allowed to buy that anymore because fuck you, I guess. And so here we are having to shell out $40 for the game. Or pirate. Piracy is also an option. As I've said before, it is morally okay to pirate Nintendo. Now, what are some other games that have sold for $40 that is just a port? Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime for the Switch is a port for Metroid Prime from the GameCube. Now, I will give Metroid Prime credit where credit is due. They did do really good with the graphics. Not $40 good, but they still did a good job with the graphics. The game looks really nice on the Switch. And honestly, I could see somebody who never played Metroid Prime paying $40 for it, and I think that would be fine. I think for the most part that would be worth the price. I feel like Metroid Prime's graphical remake should be the bare standard for a port. You know, if you're gonna charge $40 fucking dollars for it. Keep in mind Disgaea PC sells for $20, which is basically just buying the PSP version of it. So it's kind of weird that we get a version of Super Mario Galaxy that has less pixels in the assets, I guess? Dude, I've been looking at these. Literally the only thing I can see is Peach's eye has a little more detail. Good fucking job, guys. This is especially embarrassing because Pac-Man World Repack 2 released not that long ago. Weeks, I would say. Not even 2 weeks ago. Pac-Man World Repack 2 was released. Now, if you don't know, Pac-Man World 2 Repack has better graphics, new cutscenes, new bosses to replace the previous rather repetitive boss design of, hey, let's have a frog and then 3 machine ghosts. That's okay, right? That's cool. Yeah, so instead of that, we kept the frog, but we also have 3 other mechanical animals that the ghosts control to fight you. Even the bosses that were retained in the remake were also changed up a bit so that their fights were more interesting, including the final boss, who isn't a fucking joke anymore. We have voice acting for characters that didn't have them, which
Tasty! Whoa! Yummy! Whoa! Yummy! Tasty! Yummy! Whoa! Yeah! Tasty! Yeah! Tasty! Yummy! 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 Tasty! Whoa! Yummy! Yummy! Tasty! Yummy! Yeah! Tasty! Yeah! Yummy! 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 Yeah! Yummy! All right!
look, I can tolerate him long enough, I suppose. It's, look, an A for effort, okay? All this, $10 less, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out. Honestly, I feel like Pac-Man World 2 Repack should be a new standard for anybody who is touting a remake for their game. Nobody seems to have any problems with it. Well, okay, I suppose some people are complaining that it's not exactly the same as the original game. There is a bit of an argument to be made for that, but I don't think they're going to care if you decide you want to emulate that, if they're going to make it that different. Point is, the game's great, and I would recommend anybody buy that game over literally the same thing from almost 2 decades ago. I suppose the basics of this one is Nintendo dumb, Namco good. Support Namco. Reward Namco for making good game. I think that's about all I've got then. Later.